Hi, this is the GroWTF podcast, a growth podcast of HOG Klaus-M. Hi, my name is Klaus-M Schremser, and I'm head of growth of UserSnap, a user feedback platform that helps companies to collect customer feedback and build better products and services. I'm a serial entrepreneur and I launched my first website in 1994. In the last 20 years, I co-founded 3 companies within the tech marketing industry. 2 of them got acquired, one by Atlassian, and in the third one, I'm still working as of today. And this podcast is about the successes, but more about the failures and learnings I'm experiencing as a co-founder and head of growth. So let's start with our first topic. The first episode is about building a content lead engine and quintuple, so 5 times more product leads. So around 1.5 years ago, we had a problem. We had a very successful blog, but almost no leads coming from this blog. And our organic traffic was a very important source. So we wanted to investigate and find out what we can do about this valuable content asset. So we dived a little bit deeper into that, and you see our organic traffic is one of our main sources, and 93% of our visitors came via the blog. So it's pretty successful in Alexa ranking worldwide. We were number 100,000, and 7% of the organic traffic went to the website. And the second most successful growth channel was direct, which is for us word of mouth. But when you look into the relation between the visitors and how many people tried our product, we had a very poor relation for that. So only 50 people per month tried our product, although we had around 100,000 visitors. So we wanted to find something and make our blog a better source for new product leads. So this is how we defined, first of all, our objective: get more product leads from blog. And this is how we started with our first trial, which was the most obvious one. Let's put some promotions into our blog. And of course, they were not so simple as this one, but yeah, we built I think 4 ads per page, and we have around back then we had around 300 blog posts. So it was a hell of an effort to integrate ads in every blog post. And as you might imagine, it was not very successful. Yeah, because people are, when they look for your blog, when they find a blog, they're looking for a certain problem or issue, and then they read about how to solve it, but they're not interested in directly trying out your product, because otherwise they would land at your website. So you have to nurture them a little bit more. So this is where we restarted our efforts, this time a little bit more intelligently. And I also learned one thing which I kept for many years, and still it's one of my resources: ask smarter people than you are when you start something new. And this is why we hired one main expert. In this case, it was Manuel Weiss, and he's an ex CMO of CodeShip, a very successful startup, and now he's doing marketing as a consultant. And he told us about his content lead engine, which he implemented at CodeShip. And we learned how to do that, and we did the same for us. And there is a second secret ingredient to a successful initiative, and this is have awesome people in your team. And this is Ashley, and she implemented all of that. And I have to say, I think that a lot of the success of the current engine is contributed to her work. So, okay, content lead engine, what exactly does this mean? Yeah, so our goal was to get more product leads, people who are trying our product from the blog post. So they are coming to your website looking for a certain topic, probably not directly interested into your product. And then you have to slowly, you know, pick them up, nurture them, and then over time bring them nearer to your product and see if it resonates or not. And so the first thing we did is we took our blog posts and we put them into categories, because you know you cannot personalize or attribute each single blog post, especially if you have like around 300 or more blog posts. And so we put them into categories. These were like customer feedback, customer experience, quality assurance, user acceptance testing. So these are categories which are more specific and important for us as a user feedback platform. We of course also did the optimization part for SEO, which you should always do. And then we started, you know, to pick up leads from our blog posts with lead magnets. Lead magnets in our case right now were ebooks. So we wanted to offer them, you know, additional content. So when they're interested in the one topic or in the one article, then maybe they want to know more about it. And if we talk about leads, we'll have to define what a lead is. And the lead is for us someone which or who we have qualified at least with their name and their email. So we started with ebooks, but we only had one. And initially we thought this will be a huge job and will take months, but we quickly found like some pretty helpful, thanks at that time, helpful people who were available for interviews, and they were from amazing companies like Typeform and Uber, and like these people, we just reached out to them on LinkedIn, and they were wonderfully helpful and helped us with content for the ebooks. So the ebooks were crafted within a few weeks. We launched one after another. And for each of that lead magnet, we created an email nurturing sequence. So at that time we used Intercom. Currently we switched with our email marketing from MailChimp and Intercom to ActiveCampaign, and we implemented a marketing automation and an email nurturing sequence. And that sequence over weeks is nurturing the leads we got from the ebooks with new ebooks, other helpful contents, and then slowly bringing them to our product and to the sign up for a product trial. One thing I don't want to leave out, because this was, I think, this was the special ingredients and the right spice for the soup. And this is remarketing. So like we have a lot of people coming to specific categories on our blog, and many of them are leaving and not catching up or signing up for the ebook. But when they landed on our website, they were automatically integrated in our audience in Google Ads and Google Analytics, of course. And we started then a remarketing campaign for each of the categories. And this was super successful. So here you see a few of our, I think right now we have 7 ebooks. As I said, the left one is the first one, which was already there, but then for each category, we built one customer feedback, one ebook. And now, of course, we are transitioning to customer feedback. So we are building more ebooks on that end. As I said, remarketing was wonderfully successful for us. We also hired an expert here, Michael Weidinger. Thanks a lot on that end, and he helped us to set up this campaign. Let's say for here, people who are on our blog for at least 30 seconds. So we're not wasting money on people who are leaving immediately and were like the wrong people. So yeah, so we implemented a lot of remarketing ads. You see some of them here, and with that we gained a lot more visitors and also product trials. So let's drum beat. What are the results of this campaign? Yeah, so the first observation period was like 2017 to 2018, and now let's look from 2019 to 2020. So the blog and ebook pages have around 130,000 visitors per month, which is a plus of 40%. That's quite a nice number. The Alexa ranking also increased, so we are now at position 66,000, which is an increase of 34%. And the most important one is the product lead. So the people who are trying our product per month increased from 50 to 250, which is a 400% increase. Additionally, we have around between, depends, 1,000 and 2,000 email leads per month. And for us, it's a huge success. You see that here in the metrics, how the light blue line is like really increasing from, especially like here in 2019, started here in 2018 when we started the content engine. So the content engine started somewhere here, maybe here, and then it grew there. It took some time and then it went off. So especially the remarketing takes some time, and you should have an expert who is familiar with Google Ads to make that work. What are the learnings so far? So don't wait with the invoice at the entrance of the store. So what I mean by that is, if you're like immediately promoting your product within your blog, the visitors and readers are probably not in the stage of their journey to try your product. So at the entrance of your store, you should not try to convince them to buy something. Yeah? Let them come in, let them look around, let them find out if this is the right product, and then follow up with some email marketing and bring them back into your shop, into your store. Yeah, you have to move your audience from one layer to the next one, what I mean by that is, like, if you look at the user journey also like an onion, you have different layers. And when they start in an awareness and in a acquisition phase later on, you have to give them the right content for the right funnel stage. Yeah, so move them to the next funnel stage, and then after a while you can convince them to try your product. Remarketing is a powerful tool if you handle it with expertise, if you handle it with experts. I think we will do more on the remarketing specifically, because we don't want to waste our money in normal ads and promotions. But for remarketing, when people are already interested on your website, in your product maybe, or in the direction, and you know that they are kind of from your audience, then remarketing is the tool to spend time and invest into that. Involve experts and learn from them. So don't start everything on your own. Yeah, ebooks, as I said, we crafted them not only with the help of wonderful people from well-known companies. This was the one part, but also we hired some external help from content writers, and this gave us a lot of speed in launching and publishing ebooks. There is also, like, not everything is shiny on that end, to be honest. Like, there is still something where we have to unlock to convert more customers directly from this source. Currently it's very low. There is also like a hidden or for me, and still an unknown gap when you're, especially when you're working in B2B SaaS companies and products. There is often a different person, because in companies there is not one person who is informed or bringing in the information about the product, and then the same person is deciding, and the same person is purchasing. But especially in bigger companies, you have split. There are different roles, and there is still this gap where people, try a product, sometimes with a Gmail address, and then suddenly they went dark, and someone else, on the other hand, signs up out of the blue, direct traffic, and converts as a customer. And from a lot of user research, we found out that these are the people who just get an email and they say, hey, we tested out Usersnap, please sign up with your company email and put the credit card in. So this is still something we have to link, and hopefully this will be another episode of this podcast. Yeah, as always, I want to finish or tell you my secret, that is, grow with the magic power of feedback. Feedback is something we personally can grow of, and also our businesses. So there is like a magic when you ask for feedback about yourself or about your company. And last but not least, if you want to follow this podcast, please subscribe to my mailing list. And if you have some feedback for me, then please hit your keyboard and send me some of that. I would love to hear it, and I will answer you on that. Thanks a lot. Hope to hear you again.